In this video, I'm just going to show you some new features I integrated into the aliinspector version 1.0.2.4. Some of the changes I made that were based on what you guys really wanted, and some updates that were requested quite a bit. So I had to spend a lot of time to try to integrate some of these features, and some unfortunate things that have happened with aliexpress.com that we had to overcome. And so I'm going to explain that in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, but make sure you do check out the other help videos. But I just want to explain some of the new things that you may have not seen if you've been using the software for a while. So the first thing I've done is I've added new data columns. This one here, the price plus e-packet, was basically price plus shipping. People have been asking to have that column in there. So what I've done is I've basically taken the number that's in the price column and added it to the e-packet column for the delivery amount. So how much it costs when you use e-packet. Let's go ahead and just look at a few other data columns I've added here. I added the store age, how old the corresponding store is, and it's provided in years. The amount of stock that's available within that particular product from that store, and the number of wishes that people have basically wished for that product. These are three things that people have really requested. Let me show you how to extract that data real quickly. Let's go ahead and just do a quick search here. I just put in fishing lure, so I'm just going to go ahead. It's going to work like I did before. It's going to come through here and start gathering data. And you'll notice that over here, there are no data in these columns. It says not extracted. Now just hold on to that thought for a minute. I want to just jump on over to the bestsellers. If you use the bestsellers over here, you'll also see these columns. In addition, you'll see the reviews column saying not extracted. This is something new that was introduced by AliExpress. I'm unable to get this data anymore, so I had to use a different method, and I'll explain that different method now. You'll see there's an additional button here called More Data. Now, after you've done your initial scrape and you've got all this other data, if you want the additional data, what you need to do is do another scrape for each one of these, and it is a little bit slower. I had to build in an integrated web browser in order to get past the new restriction by AliExpress, which they basically force you to log into your account, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. I made it pretty easy to use. Let me show you how to do that. So all you gotta do is click the More button, and you'll have a bunch of options here. So you can extract data for all of the rows. You can extract the data for only the rows that contain not extracted. So let's say you extracted a bunch and some are not extracted yet, so just extract the ones that are not extracted, not all of them. Or you can just extract the rows that are selected. So if you selected like this, it'll only extract these rows. Now even if you just select the cells like this, it'll still extract all of them. Let's just go ahead and just select data for all rows, and I'll show you what happens here. So it's going out to AliExpress, and it notices that you have to be logged into your account. So this is the new restriction here that I've integrated. So this is just an integrated web browser. Now I do highly advise not to use this web browser to actually browse within AliExpress. The web browser isn't that great. It's only used to extract data. So the only purpose of this actual browser here basically is just to log into your account. Now I realize it gets kind of inconvenient to keep entering your email address and your password every time you bring up the software. You're going to have to enter it in every time you use it for the first extraction, and then you can continue using it. It usually won't show it again. So what I've done here at the top is you can enter in your username and your password, and this saves it in the settings file for the software. Now don't worry, your password is encrypted. So if you put it in here, you don't see the password, and it's also encrypted in the saved file, so no one can steal your password or nothing like that. But I just wanted to put it in here so it's nice and convenient. So when you first open this up, you won't see anything. These will be blank. So all you have to do is just enter, if you want to save it in the software. Now you don't have to save it in the software if you're not comfortable doing that. That's no problem. I just wanted to make it easier so that you don't have to manually enter in your email and password every time this window pops up. It's nice just to have it saved in this window. And all you have to do is just click copy, go here and go Control V on your keyboard. If you're on a Mac, you have to right click and paste. Copy your password, Control V, and then click sign in. And then you just wait, and it'll automatically start working. And you can see here now it's extracting the data one at a time. Another restriction that AliExpress has integrated is a CAPTCHA image. So if a CAPTCHA image is encountered, that window will come back up again, and you'll have to manually enter in the CAPTCHA image and hit submit. But after that, it'll run again for another 20 or 50 different data pulls. So it's a good idea to narrow down what you want to extract before you start extracting, because it's probably not a good idea to start extracting like thousands and thousands of pages. Try to narrow down what you really want, and then when you want to see the store, age, stock, and wishes, then you could start just extracting the ones that you want. And this happens for the best sellers as well. So in this case, I'm going to show you how to do it just by selecting. So if you select a cell, hold down your shift key and select these options. Say you want to do these ones, you can right click and go extract more data and select, if I just go over here, select more data, extract data for selected rows. Now it's just going to go for those rows that I selected. And if you ever need to see the browser window, I did integrate an option up here under the help, show built-in browser, and it will show the browser here. And if for some reason it doesn't go to the login page when you need to log in, I do have a login button up here. You just click that, goes to a login page. Another little convenient thing down here is this checkbox says automatically close after login or CAPTCHA. It's just a convenience thing. I usually keep that checked all the time so that when you enter and you log in, the window will automatically close and it will just continue. If the window doesn't close, just check that and click close, and then it will continue with the extraction. You may have noticed that sometimes in previous versions, using the search, you'll hit search and nothing happens. Nothing is appearing. That's because the AliExpress now requires you to log into your account sometimes, but not all the time. So I've developed a smart extraction function inside the software which will automatically detect whether or not you need to log in. Now I do want to stress that your login information is not stored in the software at all, with the exception of the password here. Let me show you where that is saved so that I'm completely transparent. I want to show you. So I'm just going to go and click down to install folder. And I'm working in my developers platform here. And the ini file is where your data is saved. And you will see the username and then the password. But this is not my password. This is an encrypted version of my password. So it's safe. So you don't have to worry about anyone stealing your AliExpress password. And that data is not sent back to our servers or anything like that. That's completely contained within the software. It's just used so you can basically use the software a little bit better. I had to integrate that feature in order to get past that problem where you have to log into your account. Now I've just paused the software and I went and ran it for a while in order to show you what the CAPTCHA looks like. So once a CAPTCHA image is encountered, it will look like this. And all you have to do is beside CAPTCHA, just left click, and then enter in this little CAPTCHA image. I've noticed that these letters are always uppercase. So it looks like it's C-E-I-N-P. And if it's right, click submit. And it'll automatically shut down and then continue on the extraction. And you may encounter that every 50 to 100 data pulls from their site. And which is fine if you're looking for this data. If manually, it's going to take you a lifetime to do this manually. Still, this is going to be you're going to save a tremendous amount of time, even though you have to enter in that additional CAPTCHA image every time you're extracting data. And plus, you get to see the stock, the wishes, the store age, all in one place, and use your filters to automatically get to it and all that kind of stuff. And I highly recommend using the auto save feature. So when you're extracting a lot of data, something might go wrong with maybe AliExpress decides not to respond, or your internet connection goes down, or you forget to save your data before you close the software, or it crashes or something like that. If you have the auto save on, it will always save the data in the background to a file, and then when you restart the software, it will automatically show that data again. So let me just throw this in. I want to show you what I mean. So now we've saved all the data. Extract all the data. Let's go ahead and just close it. And then if we bring it back up, since we had that auto save button still on, we should still have all our data, and there it is. So that's another powerful feature we've integrated in there for your convenience. Now another change that I made from in the newer version was, you'll notice that in the delivery columns, the ePack delivery and also in the free provider delivery column, you'll see that now there's not, there we go. Now you'll see that there's not two numbers in there. It used to be the low range to the high range, and what I decided to do is just take the average of those two numbers. So if you go to the particular product, and you'll see it says 20 to 39 days there, I simply take the average. Now this is probably not the correct one we're looking at. If we click there, you'll see the ePacket. So 12 to 20 days, if you take the average of that, you take 12 plus 20 equals 32 divided by 2 is 16, and that's where that number is coming from. So you see there, now it's going to say 16, and this gives you a better idea of what to look for, because before you would see a low number and a high number, but now you actually see the average, because let's say, for example, the low number is on, let's say, 12 days, but the high number is like 56 days. So that particular store is going to deliver between 12 to 56 days. So you don't know if it's going to be a couple weeks or a month or 2 months sort of thing. It'd be nicer to see if it was between a week and a week and a half, or a week or 2 weeks. So the lower this number, the better that you want. So it just made more sense in order to do that. For example, this 40, this particular one could have been, between 2 weeks to 2 months sort of thing, instead of between 1 week to 2 weeks or whatever this was. So anyways, that's why I took the average. Before, it looked like this in this particular version here. I haven't fixed this yet, but it used to look like 12 to 20 and 20 to 39. So you can see, like, for example here, like 20 to 39, 19 to 39, like this would be a little bit better. But anyhow, it just made more sense to do it that way, so I've combined that, and it also makes it easier for the built-in new filters, which you can select for the delivery times now. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.